Hey everyone, so my name is Teresa, and today I want to show you how to build a risk register from scratch and automate some of the things a risk register can do um, for you. Hopefully, you'll be able to build on this register in the future. And I'm going to share a link to this Google Sheet so that you can use it and then build your own or even learn from it. Exactly. So as you can see, I've already built the sheet, the register, but I'm just going to teach you how to do it and also share a link so that you can learn at your own time while you watch this um video. Okay, so for my screen, you can see that for a risk register is basically a register that houses all your risk your organization is likely to face. And it also includes the likelihood and impact of a particular risk or risk description happening. And it also has the controls and mitigation of what you can do to address the risk in question. It usually also has an owner who's in charge of making sure that the risk is being monitored and the control in place to mitigate that risk is also working as needed. A status is also important. A section for status is also important, as you can see here, so that you know, whether the risk is in progress, if they're doing anything about it, or if it has been open for something to be done about it, or if something has been done about it and it's closed, meaning that the control has been implemented to deal with the risk. Is that okay? A minute while I charge my laptop. Yeah. So so you start by having this heading. So that's you have a risk ID, risk description, risk category, likelihood, which is 1 to 5, impact 1 to 5, risk or risk level, controls, owner, status, and review date. So once you get access to the form, this side, the risk ID is already automated. Is that okay? So all you have to do is just pull the you pull the arrow down, then it will be numbered. So let me give you an example. So let's say ID one. So let's say I clear this, and I need a numbering back to how it was. I don't have to input it like ID2. No, that's going to waste time. All you have to do is just put it on the very first cell, and then you pull it down from the end like that. So it's going to number it automatically. So I've been able to do that till to 25. So once you get a hold of this form and you want to build on it a lane, or you want to update it in such a way that it will suit your organization's needs, all you have to do is just highlight the cell, the very first cell, and then you just pull it down like that. As you can see, it will automatically number it, saving you time and having to type all that one by one. Okay, so under risk description, you get to input the risk that your organization is facing. So you get to label them, list them. Sorry, this is not in an alphabetical order, but you can also make it an alphabetical order. Is that okay? So I just listed a few. So let's go through just the first three, just for the sake of this video, so it doesn't become so lengthy and boring. So the first one is phishing attacks, which is a risk that not almost every organization is likely to face that as far as you're connected to the internet and you're sending emails and text messages across, you're likely to face a phishing attack. And another risk category, um, I've already filled the form. I've already listed a few options. Once you get the form, you can always make an edit using the edit button here. So you can always add more if you think the risk that's facing your organization falls under a different category other than the ones I've listed here. So you can go to add item. You can change the color. You can make the color probably yellow, and then you enter a value. So maybe the risk category could be um, maybe it could fall under supply chain vendor. Then you just say done, and then apply to all year. So once you get here, you see that supply chain vendor is there with a color. So once you choose that, it will the color automatically change. But for phishing attacks, it falls under cyber security. We all agreed on that. So cyber security, and then under likelihood and impact is generally subjective, depending on the organization or the scope of the organization, what line of business the organization in is in. Like I said, phishing attack, every organization will face it, and the likelihood is very high because um, that's one main point. That's one main factor when it comes to like social engineering. And social engineering is one of the ways like hackers and attackers um, enter an organization's network. And one of the mediums they can do that is to send in phishing emails or phishing attacks. So the likelihood is very high, and the impact to is 4 because that's also very high because once an employee gets a phishing email, okay, and the likelihood is high, so they're going to get that email. Once they get that email and they fall for it, the impact is also going to be high because once the attacker enters your network, you are doomed. Yeah, that's even if you find out on time, yeah, they are still in your network, so the impact is still going to be high. But as to how high it's going to be is how early you're able to detect if there's an intruder in your network or not. So that's why I went with 4, so that that there's that balance. So the risk score is going to be 20. So the risk score is already automated. Is okay. The formula is this. So the formula is likelihood times impact. So you see, I've highlighted the formula and it's highlighting likelihood and impact. So likelihood for phishing attack is D2. So D and then 2. And then the impact is E2. So E, that's E, and then 2. So that means D2 times E2 will give you 20. So since this is already automated, you don't have to rack your brain to give it the score. The sheet will automatically compute the score for you. So let's take it again. So let's say let's say I'm computing this one again. So 5, and then the impact is 4, and then enter will give you 20. And it's coming automatically, the risk level will be calculated. Yeah, I've automated in such a way that there's a formula for it. This is the formula. So this is F, this whole column is called F. Okay, so when you look at the formula, it says if F2, which is for phishing attack, because phishing attack is on column 2, is that okay? Or row 2, however you want to put it. So if F2 is more than 15, that is greater than 15, then it should be high and the color should change to red. That cell's color should change to red and the inputs or the value should be high. And I said if F2 is greater than 6, it should be medium or low. Is that okay? So let's take it again. So let's say I compute, there's no value here, so it's going to be low because the value here is 0, so it's going to be low. But once I input the values, it will change. So let's say the likelihood is 5, like I said earlier on, the impact is 4, the risk score is going to be 20, and automatically it changes to high, which is because 20 is more than 15, as we've said in the formula here. So don't worry, once you get the form, all these things have been automated. So once you build on it, it will just be calculating for you actually input your values and the likelihood and the other impact. So for controls and mitigation, which is H, you get to input the controls and mitigation your organization already has in place that's dealing with the attack, that's dealing with the risk, which in this case, which is phishing attack, or you suggest controls and mitigations that can help deal with a phishing attack. So from here, it's security awareness training because it's human beings that are going to get the phishing emails. You never see a system clicking on a link to an email. It's a human being that's going to click on the phishing link in the email. So it boils down to the human factor, training your human personnel or the personnel of your organization to identify phishing emails based on certain factors like bad grammar, agency, unsolicited emails coming from people coming from malicious actors pretending to be maybe their managers or boss or people of importance within their organization or line of work. So, like I said, a risk register has an owner. It includes an owner. Okay, so who is in charge of that particular risk or in dealing with it or in mitigating it? For phishing attack, I chose IT security. For this form that I have made or created is okay. I made it such a way that you can choose 2 or more owners for a particular risk. For the risk phishing attack, I chose IT security. I could also add risk officer now that I'm even thinking about it. Yes, so both of them could be in charge of dealing with the phishing attack. So for the IT security, they would make sure that the systems are hardened in such a way that even if by mistake or by chance an employee clicks on a security on a phishing link, the systems can somehow detect it and probably respond before human interference. And the risk officer could be in charge of the security awareness training program, coming up with materials to educate the employees on how to identify a phishing email and not click on a phishing link attached to a malicious or a phishing email. So, okay, so the status is also subjective. Second, as an organization, what's the status when it comes to like dealing with phishing attacks? Is this something that's an ongoing process? Is this something that has been dealt with so it's closed? Is this something that is open and you're looking forward to addressing it? Is that okay? So just like I said before with the category, it's the same for status and an owner. You can always edit it if you feel like they are more honest with the organization. You just have to use the edit button, which is down here, and then just add an item over here and then click on done and then it to be updated. Same for status. You just have to use the edit button here. Then you click on add an item, add another item, then done. Then like that, it will be included in the list of things. So let's try on. So let's say for this one, it's going to say on hold. Let's say on hold. So you click on done. It says apply to all. Then you do that. Then once you come back here, you would see on hold down here. Exactly. For the review date is to help risk officers or GIC personnel or risk analysts or compliance analysts or IT governance analysts to be able to tell when we need to visit, the control to see when we need to review the control to see that the control that we put in place to deal with phishing attacks is actually working. And if it's not working as intended, we can always implement a corrective control to deal with whatever loopholes the original control has. Is that okay? So let's do it one more time for the second risk. So the second risk will be ransomware infection. Is that okay? The category is cybersecurity once again. It can also be technology. Yeah, because it affects our systems. It puts more like a lockdown on our systems. Is that okay? So yeah, you can also choose technology. But I think for this one, let me edit it in such a way that you can choose. two or more items. So you can always edit the form. I know some of them have been automated already for you. I've automated some of them, some of the items for you, but you can always make edits to it if you feel like under the risk category, it could be one or it could be two or more things. So you just have to just tick this button, allow multiple selections, and then done. Once you do that, you'll be able to select two or more. So let's say under ransomware infection, I believe it's cybersecurity and technology. So as you can see, I've been able to choose both technology and cybersecurity. The likelihood, let's calculate it together. So the likelihood is 4. Yes, and then the impact once it happens, the impact is very, very high because for ransomware, as we all know, it puts a lockdown on our systems, and sometimes it needs to be like huge amounts of money for the attackers to like kind of like give you a key to unlock your system and all that. And sometimes it can be very, very frustrating. So the impact will be very, very high because you just don't lose financially. Sometimes even though they might say they will not sell your data, even after paying all that money, your data could still be put on the dark web, which could go against you. So the risk score is not a surprise that the risk score is high, which is 20, making the risk level also high. And then for the controls and mitigation, usually these ransomware infections or attacks come through phishing emails. So once again, it's the human factor that is at stake here. So once again, it's going to be security awareness training, and the owner is going to be IT security once again, and then also risk officer. So like the explanation I had for phishing attack like before, IT risk will deal with hardening the system in such a way that it will be able to recognize that a ransomware attack is happening so that it can, like kind of like deliver like something like a first aid to the system before there's human interaction. Yeah, so that would be the work of the IT security. And then the risk officer will come up with the systems, sorry, the tools and materials to educate our human personnel on what to do when they receive a phishing email that probably has a link that when clicked on, could put our system on a lockdown, which is essentially a ransomware attack. And then the status, like I said, is subjective as an organization. Where are you? Are you now coming to address the problem? Is it in process? Are you implementing a control? Or the control has been implemented and later on reviewed? So that'll be under close. And then maybe on hold, maybe due to financial some issues beyond your control, it has been put on hold for now. So you get to choose which one. It works for you according to your organization, yeah, or where your organization stands. And like I said, the review date is supposed to help risk analysts, review the controls after some time to make sure that the controls are doing exactly what they are meant to do. That's deal with the risk. Is that okay? Or like make sure that the risk is under control. So as you can see, I was able to input quite a number. So like I said, I'll put a link in the comment section. You can click on it and then play around it. Most of the things I've automated most of the things, so you can play around it to learn how a risk register is created or is done. You can look at the formulas that I use to automate some of these cells and then apply it in your own way or to your organization register. Or you can simply take the whole thing and then make it yours. Is that okay? And then learn from it or make it yours as in your own register when it comes to your organization. That way you can see what risk your organization is facing and who is in charge of what and who to reach out to when you think maybe a particular risk is not being dealt with properly. So okay, so as you can see, this is it. And I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two. Um, Hopefully, there'll be another video on how you can make sense of the risk register. Is okay. Maybe as security personnel, we can look at this and make sense of it. But sometimes our executive suits will look at this and see a bunch of just numbers and colors and a whole lot. So if you're able to make sense out of it through presentations using Power BI or PowerPoint, to come up with like explainable diagrams for our executive suits, then you'll be able to understand what we are trying to say using the risk register. So there'll be another video on how to come up with meaningful presentations for our executive suite using Power BI and this Excel and this Google Sheet right here. Yeah, you can also download an Excel sheet of it using download button just there right here. So either Excel sheet or Google Sheet. There'll be another video is okay on how to make a meaningful presentation from this sheet you're seeing. Yeah, from the sheet you're seeing using Power BI. So thank you very much for your time. Until then, I'll see you soon. Or the other video will be out soon. Bye.